Everybody, good morning. All my friends are here. Leah, Don, Dan, Wade, Donald, Gaten, Darren, Rob, Roland, Stephen, Ed, Sergio, Helen, Kay. Good morning, everybody. Ted, Cliff, Thrifty, Nikki, Amy, Rex, Mary, Craig, Francois, Jen, Tara, Swinborn, Mark, and Jason. Good to see you. How's it going this morning? Everybody doing all right? Anybody notice the one chart? We're not going to talk about it yet. Anybody pay attention? There's something breaking out. Maybe. Try not to ruin the superstitious, something we've been watching for a few years now. It's getting there. And we might get a explosive move up. We'll see. Yeah. Shh. Anyway, hey, General Rush, good to see you. Wrong number. David, good to see everybody. And yeah, don't want to ruin anything. Don't want to ruin any good karma we have going on. I'll put it that way. Don't want to ruin any market karma. No, don't talk about it. Robert, don't talk about it. All right. Here we are. Let's see. Let's do this right here. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. All right. Past performance, not necessarily indicative of future results, just because we talk about it, we predict it. Sometimes I get lucky and we get it right. Sometimes, more often than not, I may never get another one again. Yeah. We've gotten several lately. It's been really, really nice. Don't want to jinx it. Don't want to mess with the market karma. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instrument. No stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries. Don't long them, don't short them, don't trade them. That means don't buy any of those things. Stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries. Don't buy them, don't sell them, don't long them, don't short them, don't trade them. There's a substantial risk of loss. If you desire personal financial advice, you're like, somebody needs to tell me what to do, you're going to have to go hire and consult a financial advisor, not what JT does. I'm not telling you what to do. Unlike a lot of other YouTubers and stuff out there, I'm not going to tell you what you should go buy. You're going to have to make your own trading decisions, all right? I don't know your situation. I don't know your account. I don't know your family. I don't know anything about you. So I can't, in good faith, tell you what you should be doing with your own money. Right here, we have some Jolt Jobs and consumer confidence coming up. Then tomorrow, we get these fun numbers, GDP, right here. Then the day after that, we get these fun numbers right here, core PCE, Powell's favorite inflation number. And then Friday, we get the average hourly earnings, non-farm payrolls, and unemployment change right there. I mean, it's a stacked week of economic news. And then we lead right into the U.S. election next week and the freaking FOMC meeting starting on Wednesday and ending on Thursday right after the election. This is going to be a stacked week. And on top of all that, with the thumbnail and everything, we have big tech earnings really kicking off in earnest today after the close. Right there. Oh, that's interesting. That show up. It's like torn. It looks like it's ripped off the corner. That's really weird. It's right behind me. Let's see if it... Yeah, look. See that other corner over there? The image looks like it's torn. That was really weird. Huh. Anyway. And now something wants to upgrade. Cool. All right. Hopefully that doesn't mean the computer's about to crash or something like that. Throw myself back on the other side. All right. Usually means the GPU is about to take a poo. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Yeah. All right. So we have Alphabet, Google right there coming up after the close. AMD also, Snap, Chipotle, Visa, First Solar. That one's been a rough one. Reddit, Chubb. And then tomorrow we have Microsoft, Meta, Coinbase, Robinhood, Etsy, Riot, Roku, Riot. Interesting in there. Crypto Unleashed in that play for Riot this week. Yeah, I don't think the earnings on Riot matter if the chart, the one chart keeps doing the thing we're doing. I don't think I don't think Riot can say anything except the CEO was caught with a bunch of dead hookers in the back or something like that, and all the company's money in the trunk. So unless they report that, I think as long as the overarching chart is going up, we're going to go up. Then Amazon and Apple Intel out here on Thursday. Friday we get Fubo TV along with Chevron, ExxonMobil. Man, I was going through these charts. I don't remember where. Maybe it's yesterday. All that energy chart, all those energy, you know, traditional oil drilling companies, I should say, and just look pretty horrible. Just look pretty horrible. So anyway, that's this week. Like coming up today, we'll check on these. Remember 30 Minutes of Awesome at 5 p.m. today. The only request show I do every week, and we'll go over these as they happen, see what's cooking. So if you got requests, make sure you come at 5 p.m. Remember, the morning show, not a request show. We're digging in, trying to find what's moving today, and then we're getting on with our day. 5 p.m. tonight, Tuesdays, one day of the week, I do requests, and we'll watch some of these coming out live tonight. All right, make sure you come. Make sure you set your alarm. Come hang out with me for a little bit. All righty. Moving on. Everybody having a good morning? I like things when they get spicy. All right. Yes, look at this crazy bull shirt. Oh my goodness, bull shirt. Well, yesterday I said, hey, there's my expectation. I'll be hornswoggled. Hey, unless we break out or break down, sideways is the direction. We may grind it a whole nother day today until we get Google's earnings tonight. So, what time later today? 5 p.m. Eastern is the show. 5 p.m. So there we go. We could just grind this sideways. That would kind of suck for another whole day of sideways action. My gosh, man. This not my. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. Not my favorite to see, but that may be entirely what we do. Man. I don't remember what that was, but we did do the So we did a move up, and 1, 2. NQ looks like it wants to go a little lower. Possibly down to 20,392 right there. Let's check it one other way. And 20,400, or maybe even 20,300, but nice dip in there can project us higher. If we spend the rest of the day doing this, we may do that on Google earnings. We'll see. Just kind of looking here. Russell, man, so think about it. For those of you that have been coming back watching, that high, that low, you skip a set, overlap. Nasty. This set, this high, and the current low, skip a set. Already overlapping. That's nasty price action right there. I don't like it. Don't like it at all. Looking at the daily here. And just chopping around. Not really doing much there on Russell. Majority of the candles are red. Only 2 greens out of the last, 10 candles? Well, nasty price action. Let's go check out these. So stocks above our 200-day on the S&P. Back down to the roadmap line. That's just coincidental. The roadmap line doesn't really mean jack squat on this chart. How do you trade this? You don't. This is an index right here. It's just a percentage of stocks above their 200-day moving average. If you didn't know you could pull this up, S5TH on TradingView. I think it works on barchart.com. Also, you can get a live count during the day. I just check in with this, a few times a week. See where we're at. When we're above 80, the bottom, rolling down becomes likely. We've been grinding this top for a while. This is a slow moving chart. Look back at the history. We can spend a lot of time over 80 before we roll. That's just kind of the way this chart works. All right. And we hit once, twice, 3 times, and then roll to the bottom. Once we've hit the top, it just makes it likely we're going to make a top and roll down. So we've come up here, we've hit once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times. Eventually, this is going to be it, and we're going to roll. Now, jumping down the time frame to the 50-day. Stocks above their 50-day. We're kind of poking the bottom of the chant of this uptrend of lows, I guess you might say. I was speculating we may have to return back down there before we can go up again. Guess what? Here we are. Here we are, right there. We can go up again, make a new higher high. Usually, I'm going to say usually, the big flush outs in the market, we top out over 90 just briefly, maybe a few days before we roll down. And we did that here in January. We topped out over 90 and got a flush out into April. Maybe you don't remember that. Let's go look at the chart. It wasn't necessarily a bad flush out, but topped out in January, funny enough, and then we did this flush in April. So it doesn't necessarily mean, we're down the whole time, but this is less and less stocks participating in the move higher. And then we got it led to that bigger flush right there. Now, what happened in August? Right there, we just spiked up to 80, right back down here. So bigger flushes like we had in August. Right there, that flush didn't necessarily take down S5FI as big as this flush over here. So it's not about size. It's just number of stocks participating. S5TW, this one's a bit more chaotic. We're back down in the middle. Had one little dip down to 40. I would have liked to see we may get another dip a little lower here. This one tends to get in the 20-30 vicinity before we go shooting back up to the top. And anything below 20 just indicates that the markets might be working on a turn. All right. These tend to be a giant market oscillator below 20. And that's the same for S5TW, S5FI, and S5TH. All right. 20 line, 80 line. Those are my 2 zones where I'm looking for a reversal. Why have I been talking about the market possibly topping out? Because look, we've spent the whole year up here at the top. Now we can spend an extended period of time up here. And that's happened in the past. So that one over here, we were up here from 2016 through 2018. 2 years we spent up here before we rolled. So we've been up here almost the whole year now. We can spend another several months up here before we roll. So it's all about time frame. All right. This is a 200-day moving average. So slow mover. This one's faster, but we haven't really topped out over 90. We've gotten close a few times, haven't really done it. the bigger flushes tend to show up on this one, and we tend to top out over 90 before we do it. So we've talked about this several times over the past year or so. Just going to clean up a few things. So that's what we got cooking right now. We went back to the bottom of this little channel thing. This probably needs to be up here now. We could continue grinding this wedge here all the way into next year. Maybe pop over 90 and then flush. So that's just looking at a different market. You know, I try to clear, when I look at these, I try to clear my mind and my expectation on anything bigger and not then try to look at the tea leaves independent of other charts. All right. I don't try not to do confirmation bias and be like, oh, well, this chart confirms my view on the other chart. I just try to, it's like I talk about, like pros and cons almost, except it's like, what are the good things going for the market? What are the bad things going for the market? I tend to do that per ticker. I'm like, what are the odds we're going up versus what are the odds we're going down? I kind of keep track of it. And sometimes, like on Tesla, we got lucky. We caught the pop. And funny enough, that one right there topped out at the target yesterday. Look at that. And then pulled back. Look at that right there. See that right there? Boom. Right there. 2273. I mean, 273 right there. Right in that vicinity. We got it. Pull back would be in order before we go higher again. We'd be like, what about the bigger targets? Yeah, well, that was the short time frame target. We'll probably consolidate a little bit before we do the next move. Don't get caught up in... And that was a 27% upside, almost in line with the historical average, 33% upside on pops. That was a pretty good one. All right. Back to oil. I bet you they try to flush this down here into the election. I betcha. The powers that be. Gold pushing higher. Target zone right up here. Silver. Come on, baby. So silver, as I was talking about yesterday, much larger opportunity to break out. We're right at that 618 level. If we break out above that, we could go on a mega run up here, 50, 60 bucks per ounce of silver. Be a wild ride. Bitcoin. First rule of Bitcoin, don't talk smack about the Bitcoin chart. Look. Doing the thing. Target up here. Got this level coming across for the breakout. Here was where I expected. If we go early, no big deal. We may break out early, retrace, and then do that. Highly likely we're going to do some sort of retrace, maybe retest over here before we really get going. So don't get your hopes up too much that we won't retrace, but there may be limited, the retraces may be shallow from here on out, and we may get limited opportunity to buy the dip. Dun, dun, dun. Ethereum, still not breaking out, still not participating. This one, when it catches up, it's going to catch up in a big way. Unless they just wrecked it. And then we're going down here. Dollar still hanging in the resistance zone. This one, Japanese futures, Japanese stock market futures, Nike. Highly likely, once we get above here, we're going cruising right up here. This should be positive for the U.S. markets. If we do that, if we break down below this area here, we have a next level of support. Man, I did that sloppy. This right here. So this one, if we break here, coming on down to here. We break below this, we're probably going lower low, and it's probably going to be nasty for both the Japanese market and the US market. That's global liquidity right there, if that flushes down. If we bounce here, kind of expecting up here when we break higher. Tesla, like I said, watch out for the retrace. It could come back to the roadmap line. Could come all the way back down. Entirely possible. That move could be played out for now. Make your choices. All right. So I go pull everything moving $2 or more up in the pre-market, $2 or more down in the pre-market. The up I put on the gainers list, the down I put on the decliners list. And we go through it looking for opportunities. So same chart patterns I use. If you're not familiar with my chart patterns, $5, I get the market roadmap line. That's the orange line on the charts. And I teach you how to use it. And then, ooh, Zillow. Oh, yeah, coming back to the roadmap line. I'm glad I liquidated my position there. Coming back down pretty hard. Bigger picture. Likely to keep going, but I don't know. We'll see what happens when we get down here. We'll put a new alert in here. All right. I bought down here. Somewhere down here. I don't remember which one it was. This one or this one. Then we sold out right just after it peaked, right in here. Yeah. All right. Back to the gainers. Zebra. Looks like we could go on up to 402, 445 possibly. This 445 would be an ideal place for this extension. And then let's just clear the chart. Talk about it this way. This high, this low. If we can break above this zone right there, set the stage to cruise on up to 670 area. 677 even. That's just a wild number. That's a big move from something that's 388. FFIV. Boom, right up to the targets. Yep. Extension targets. Let's see. Maybe working on the bigger target up here, 265, maybe 281. This is just a higher time frame move. As you can see, the weekly chart, cruising 265, 281. Boom, crush through. Big move up. That's earnings. Yeah. Beating on the top, beating on the bottom. It had set the path from all the way back here. 265, maybe 281 on the top outs. CDNS probably coming back to the roadmap line on the weekly. But we could be working on a bounce here. I don't know. Gonna have to break 300 to go on up to 344. That gap down in there too. Be careful. Break through that stuff. Going cruising up here. We turn down. Could head down to that weekly roadmap line. Roadmap line. MSTR. As long as I was talking about yesterday, giant upside potential on this. If we really start cruising on Bitcoin, this thing acting like leveraged Bitcoin, we could see a move up into this crazy area up here. Absolute insane. Absolutely insane. There's what we're looking at. WGS. I got nothing. That's a medical specialty thing. We're at the resistance. That's a wild chart right there. Watch for this to find some resistance and turn down in this vicinity here. If we turn down, this is going lower low more than likely. somewhere down in here. DJT warrants. Oh, look at that. I said it was going to 43. Boom! Right there it was yesterday. Told you. The warrants behave much better than the underlying. The underlying, not too shabby though. Seems that this is rallying on this right here. If you didn't know this exists, polymarket.com. Look at that, pulling away, almost up to 70%. Absolutely insane. Looks like the writing might be on the wall. We'll see what happens there. If this is not the outcome, if this goes the other way, the incumbent team wins, this is going like this. LDOS popping up. And we're at targets. That broke out very nicely. Look, break higher, retest, expand, expand. Might be due a retrace. I mean, that was one heck of a move up. Hadn't been to the roadmap line since October of last year. Up, 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 up. Watch out for a retrace. MSTU, leverage MicroStrategy. If you want to leverage the leverage Bitcoin, there you go. I am not endorsing trading this. Certainly don't play with options if they're available. THC, potential bounce right there. We break back above this 158 area, 174, 178 upside likely. Coin trying its darndest to break through. We get that move up through. Yeah, I'm more conservative on the 230 area right here. Now, why do I flip back and forth between logarithmic scale and not logarithmic? It's because algorithms are programmed. And sometimes the programmers for algorithms that trade a particular stock use log mode. Sometimes those algorithms are written with non-log mode. And you don't know which one it is until you chart it and it starts respecting those numbers. This one's kind of a coin flip a little bit. It looks okay both ways, but I'm going to be more conservative with the 230 target up here to really start expecting higher. And then when we zoom out even more and even more, we have this bigger target. This whole pullback we did from the IPO through the low here. The expansion takes us out to the 500, possibly 700 area up here. All right. Cam J, I appreciate it, but we're going to keep politics out of the morning show as much as we possibly can. And T-Rex, Trex, T-Rex, Trex. Dun, 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 dun. I like how it's forest products and it's like a plastic decking material. Potential measured bounce here. And that would set the stage for this move right here. Who wins doesn't actually matter. We're set for a big correction regardless who wins. That's why I don't think it matters. Doesn't matter one bit. There's a bad situation brewing either, no matter who wins. MSTX launching off. Lucy. Well, that's a dumpster fire of a chart with a reverse split in there. And don't trade these right here. When they look like a heart chart, EKG, whatever, and majority of the price action is below the roadmap line, and the icing on the cake is a reverse split. It's on my do not trade list. Like, a lot of people are like, why don't you trade HUT 8 anymore? Like, you used to love HUT. Yeah, until they did a reverse split. Even though it was part of a merger acquisition deal, that put it on the blacklist for me. I can't trade things that do reverse splits because that's danger. Like, that to me is one of the most important warning signs for a company that's in trouble. reverse splits. So Lucy right there, reverse split. I don't care what the opportunity might be. You're likely to get your money ripped. All right. That means there used to be 20 times more shares available when we were over here. So these prices that look like they were ridiculous, like, holy cow, that was $100. Actually, it was $5. These prices over here are 20 times amplified because the shares collapsed 20 times. GLW. And what a pop there. Should we secure before next Tuesday or actually wait for the signs of retrace? That's your deal. I have a plan for next Monday, Tuesday. Probably I'm waiting to see what big tech does this week though. I'm not gonna, like, if we do a blow off top into next Tuesday, next Thursday may be more important than next Tuesday, honestly. I don't think next Tuesday matters a hill of beans for the market. I think next Thursday is what the big thing is. Next Thursday. If you don't know what next Thursday is, guess what? Guess what? On the calendar. Oh, I gotta turn off the drawing. Right here on Thursday, 2 p.m. Right there. That's the one that matters. Probably more than what happens on Tuesday. Tuesday, it's unlikely we find out what happens anyway. May not find out for weeks. Unlikely we find out that day. GLW is at targets, may retrace. We haven't retraced since April. FUTU. And the president doesn't matter. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Oh, the administration. Yeah. Likely to come back here. So the big threat with the challenger, the Institute Doge, our man Elon already saying he can cut $2+ trillion of fat out of the government spending immediately. You know what happens when you cut $2 trillion of spending out of the economy and the economy is only positive GDP because of government spending? We go through a heroin withdrawal. It's going to be bad. And if the incumbent team wins and they keep spending and the debt becomes insolvent, that's bad. Like, it freezes up the economy and everything crashes. I mean, it's like there's no good solution. It's an easy answer, but there's no good solution. That would be the target right there. Nari. Well, that's a downward chart. And medical specialty, nasty. I don't like to trade things the FDA is involved in. Plus, that's a downtrend. Nasty, nasty. Well, dang on, man. Look at that. That's going exponential. So why is exponential important? Because of this right here. When this is what I call the bubble pattern. All right. We see this play out over and over and over in the markets. We get this euphoria, this straight up move. Like where it straight up, where it ends, that's tough to determine. We usually get a violent pullback. People buying the dip. We get some chop in here, some consolidation below the high, and then it goes bad. This happens over and over and over in the market on big time frames, little time frames, super small time frames. It's just the psychology of a market. All right. Prime example of something that did this recently is this one right here. And this may be due to the final flush. It's waiting for that shoe to drop. See how we went like this. We consolidated in here. And there we go. Highly likely to come back down in this zone right in here, though. Really likely. Although, interestingly enough, the giant mega cluster that Elon built in Memphis, Tennessee, built by Supermicro. I thought that was interesting. Watched a video on that last night. PDD. And they're doubling the size of it in the next 2 months or something like that. PDD hanging out at the roadmap line. This has fired off the move. Like, we did the high, we did the low, we did the activation of the trade, retraced, doesn't matter. Highly likely we're coming up here to 175 before it's all over. Baba. That retrace could be what it needed. I suspected that we might come all the way back down and retest the breakout, though. So this may churn. It's maybe not so fun and spicy till we can come back and these things can meet over here somewhere. November, December, January, maybe. Somewhere over here we churn, you know, bring all this stuff together, and then we bounce. TMDX. Well, that went back. That went south. Going for that bigger retrace. Wow. Well below the expected target on the downside. And I wouldn't touch it. Medical specialty. Crocs. Ooh. Well. Where's the target? Right down there. Respected the resistance. Going higher, broke back below the roadmap line, so that puts it highly likely to get down here to find support. DHI, oh, saw that coming. I bet. Did nail finally? Oh yeah. Warned about that yesterday. We were likely to hit or get below the roadmap line. There we go. Beautiful. CHKP. You may be like, well, why didn't you know that was on the list already? The nail. It's I use an automated tool to build a list now. So I don't even look at what's on the list until I'm live. Try to not bias myself too much. You know, some stories I've heard and things like that. I do read news in the morning. Try to catch up as much as I can, but there's a lot. There's a lot. Now, if we bounce here, hold the roadmap line. Bounce, get above the 618, although we do have the gap down to contend with. Likely to pop on up to 215, but the cautionary tale is that gap down. This gaps can be resistance here. So we've got a large resistance zone to get through to get up to 215 on CHKP. Now, as I said, looking for support down here. This one can go again. We've made that high, made this low now. Back through that 618 can take us up to 187. Boot. Well, hit the target and hit the retrace. Next target up here. Yep. Be looking for this to break back above this level and cruise on up there. If we're going to go higher, it can break down below the roadmap line and do a deeper retrace at this point, but I don't think it's finished on the upside. It might be, but I don't think it is. Lennar getting slammed. Must be on those new home sales or whatever. Let's see. Pop back on. Oh, that's interesting. Not seeing a countdown. Let's see, where was it? Good trade by mortgage approvals, Great British, good trade balance. That's interesting. Pending home sale is not out till tomorrow. Interesting. Yeah, we're about to potentially get a little chaos in the market here in 3 minutes. And Toll Brothers coming back down to the roadmap line. Roadmap line. McDonald's probably coming back to the roadmap line. Right in here. PHM. We're there. Remove the drawings. This high, this low. If we're going to go up again, break above the 138 area, 154, 158. SWK. Wow. What a nasty chart. May go down here. Royal Caribbean. One of these days it's going to give up this move and retrace again. That's the extension target. We do have another potential area of resistance up around 230. Home Depot. Probably coming back down to the roadmap line. That was the target. All over but the crying. CVI Energy. Like I said yesterday, Energy likely to get that 618 retrace. That's a fair move up. We're close to that 1540 support area. ATI. Watch for this to hold here. Thank you. Alerts. Break back above the 6450. Could get to 70. But if we don't hold this area, we can go down a bit more. Potentially in this area. Look for support. ITB. Back down to the roadmap line. U.S. home construction. Obviously, there's some weakness showing up in new homes. 132, 135. If we're going to bounce. Activation level, the 618 right there at 122. And if we break down, it could go down substantially more. AMKR. Well, that looks like topping pattern. And we may see this drop on down to this area. I'm just interested to see if it works at this point. Now it can reject and go higher, but that's kind of what we usually see these play out like that. NVS topped out. Roadmap line retrace would be expected on Novartis. We hit the extension almost perfectly. Look for this bounce, that break back above the 117 area. Looking for 122 on the upside. KBH, KB Home, retrace. Like so many of the others, if we can hold the roadmap line, break back above the 618. Looking for 9250. Just simple roadmap line bounce. NEE, Nextera, probably going to come down to here. And if we get done, we could come all the way down here. LEU. And what a pop. That one could be played out and look for a bigger retrace. Very cautious here. That can come back down in this $12 area. Maybe like, holy bananas, that's a long way down. And it hasn't been that long since we were here. Be careful. Doesn't have to. I mean, it could just retrace that pop. Like, remember what I said about exponential bubbly pattern things? That could be the consolidation, and we come right back down. These happen all time frames. Start down, dipping down a little more and a little more. Went straight up, consolidating. It's a 1 hour chart. All right, Consolidating. We break the back below. Come right back down. Big Q. Look at that. Right up in the target land. Target zone. I straight up missed this trade. I had so many alerts. And I think the one fired off during my morning show, and I forgot about it by the time I got off of here. And then, boom, right up 1740, 1750, target area up there. Oh, so beautiful. I missed it. Straight up missed it. DQ, Dairy Queen, Daku Energy. Right back to the roadmap line. XHB, Home Builder ETF, back to the roadmap line. Looking for that to find support at the roadmap line and turn higher again. ZS, just chopping on the roadmap line, not really moving much. It was on the decliners list, now it's flat. HLIT, wow, that got smacked down. It's just a choppy sideways, nothing for me. Boeing, hunting that bottom still. At this point, we need this to make a lower low. I need this to make a lower low than what we made right there in the coming days. Just signal the potential bottom and reversal. Break back above that. Break back above that. And we can get going. We may take a retrace here. Looking for that to get going there. So we need to break back above the prior high here, break back above the roadmap line here, retest would be ideal, and set this thing up to rally higher. How much higher? Good question. Check this out. We could go all the way up here, 600. All right, bonus trade for today, SAH. Now I do warn, this is kind of a chaotic, staticky chart, lesser known name, and dun 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 dun. Yeah, May 25. That's okay. I don't know anything about Lance's scanner, so I have no idea. And where did that trade go? There it is. All right. On here. Copy. Paste it over here. Here we go. So SAH, you can see this is the high that's important here. This is the low that's important here. All of these trades, the stop is $1 below the low. Anything that's my algorithm based, we call the algorithm Apollo. There's an alert system called Apollo. So here you go. Potential entry, 64.50 target, 51.56 stop, and a $5.74 upside. 73% of the time we've won on 19 trades since 1997 when this ticker debuted. 1.588 profit factor. 38 trading days is usually how long the trades last. Looking at all of this, boy, that's a bunch of information, JT. There's the potential right there. Yeah, 65, 40. It's on the non-log scale. The algorithm I use does everything on non-log scale, so that was the entry yesterday. Pulling back a little bit today, so giving you a little better risk reward, but it may not work. So 38 days on average puts us out to right in there is the average in December. Can go twice as long, 3 times as long as the average. So remember, averages are just average. There's things take 2 of anything. One's below average, one's above average. So 19 trades, that's not a statistical population, so be careful on that one. And 30 is a statistical population. That's why if you ever hear gurus tell you to do 30 trades before you put real money on it, test it out with 30. It's because 30 is a statistical population. All right, if you've never had like advanced statistics or more than basic, averages and stuff like that, 30 is a statistical population. That's why I'm usually looking for a population of something, an instance of something occurring more than 30 times to start gathering statistical meaning from it. So usually when you have like a few instances of something, it's kind of, it can be random. There could be something there, but a lot of times it's just randomness, random noise. All right. And bias for the day. Looking at it. If I said anything you like or helpful, beneficial, give me a thumbs up, and make sure you set your phone alarm for 5 p.m. today. Turn on your notifications. I'll try to get the alert out there. But the bias for the day, all the way down on the 15-minute chart, still, there we go. Break below this, probably going down deeper. Break above this, we're going up. And that NQ needed that little bit of lower flush. So may see it pull back a little more. All right. I'll be back 5 p.m. Back at you. We'll go through AMD. We'll go through Google. Oh, we didn't even do those. Let's see what we kind of expect here before we wrap up. AMD, still expect lower. There's the potential that this pops right here. This overlap and this overlap, not my favorite. This may come down to my target I've had down here for a long time. Try not to be biased, but this looks like choppy stuff. There's the potential this goes higher, but the cons are greater than the pros. That doesn't mean it won't, that it will go down. It just, the downside is stacked against it. So slightly edge on going down. I'm not playing it to the downside. And then the Google. This one, on the other hand, slightly biased for breaking out here. I may actually play something, depending on the cost involved. I may play something long here. See, not too bad. 200 target up there. All right. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you at 5 p.m.